Hey everyone, Kathleen here. Welcome in if you're watching live from the Animal Angel Connection Facebook group, and if you're tuning in on my Mustang Mindset Messages YouTube channel, I welcome you here as well. Please like, please subscribe if you're not already there. So anyway, lots of good stuff on the channel, and I'm back with another weekly set of animal messages, and I always pull 5 cards, and today I decided to go with some horse wisdom. The horses are just really popping out for me, and it's always when I really enjoy being around horses and receiving their wisdom, and thought I would share this wisdom with you through the cards. And I'm wondering if you're feeling this way, because here we are sometimes feeling lost in the fog. And as you can tell by this horse image, you can see that we may be feeling like we just can't see clearly. In this week's, by the way, Animal Empath Journal, I'm going to be writing about understanding your values. This has been coming up a lot, and I was coming through this morning. You've got to know your core values to be able to see through the storm, right? Can you see the horse's eye? Here we are, seeing through the waves, seeing through the storm. So you may be feeling foggy, you may be feeling lost. And while I'm not to push this, but just want to mention I'm offering a free clarity and purpose call, so that link is below too. And I can help you with that, but it's time to get clear, and a guiding light to see through the fog, to see through the storm right now, is really knowing and understanding your core values. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to core values. We all have different values, different things that are important to us. And knowing what that is and what's important to you is really that guiding light that's going to help you get through the fog, get through the storm, and see things more clearly. I was just reflecting on something that I've been going through around where do I want to be, someplace I might want to move to, and a top value for me, this is as an example to help you out here, is freedom. So I love freedom. I don't like restrictions. That's why I talk about the Mustang mindset, is to me that represents freedom. So I don't like being in a cage. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do and be myself. And so this image again is representing knowing what your values are, your core values, and one of mine, like I say, is freedom. So I'm asking you, and you can comment here, feel free to share, do you know what your core values are? Is there something that means a lot to you that you wouldn't give up for anything? And I'm talking about not really a possession, but how you feel about life, what's important to you in life. Really dive into that, because once you have that clarity around your core values, then you're going to be able to see through the eye of that storm, right? It's kind of like, I'm picturing like the hurricane. There's always the eye of that hurricane, that clarity, and there's all this stuff that's swirling around us, and there may be people around us, whether it's in a work environment or family or friends or whatever. There may be this storm going on around us, but again, having that clarity and being able to see through the eye of that storm requires those values. So really dive into that. What is really important to you right now? Sometimes it changes over the years, by the way. What was important to us 10 years ago might not be what's important to us now. It might not represent what our current core values are. So this is something you can journal on. When I work with clients, we also look at specific values. I have a sheet listing a lot of values, and we break it down and break it down and break it down until we get to the top 3. And then we create a mission statement, and then you really know where you're going. Because when you have those values, that understanding of who you are at your core, then you can really transform. You know, you can go beyond the fog that you may be feeling, and it's time to transform into that next phase. Change can be painful. I was just talking to my husband about that. He's not a fan of change, you know, but we have to go through these changes in life in order to learn, in order to grow, in order to metamorphosize, or whatever the term is, so we can go from, you know, the caterpillar to the butterfly. So knowing your core values, seeing clearly past the storm, making that transformation, and really becoming your authentic self. And that's what I want for you more than anything, is to really be authentic to who you really are. Because that's what makes us all amazing souls, is we're not all the same. You know, we're all different. We all have our different values and personality traits. And so you really want to be yourself and let go of that cocoon of maybe trying to be something you're not. Do you feel, again, feel free to comment on this, do you feel like you're trying to be something you're not? Maybe you're trying to please other people, whether, again, it's a boss or a spouse or family or whatever, you know, you're trying to fit in a society's mold maybe. It's time to break out of that mold, out of that cocoon, spread your wings, show your true colors. And I think this is beautiful because it's got the green and the blue going on. What are your true colors? When you really shine your light out into the world, that's when you attract in the life that's right for you. But you've got to be aligned with your core values and really be yourself. Then you can spread your wings and fly and be free to be you, because you're special. And, you know, it's your time to really thrive in who you're meant to be. So what's your purpose? And I'm talking about on every level, not just career. I talk about this a lot, but what is your purpose and where are you meant to be? Who are you meant to be helping? How are you supposed to help yourself? It's really about becoming your true, awesome, authentic self. But you got to get clear, or otherwise you can stay like this, kind of lost in the fog, lost in the storm. Tap into that horse energy. You know, I just see horses running in the freedom that they have when they are allowed to be free. We've had battles around here in the forest with our Mustangs, our wild horses, and them unfortunately getting rounded up. Fortunately, a lot of them have been sent to other places where they can live freely. But what's going to help you to get out of that cocoon and really be yourself and live that authentic life and be you? Nobody puts baby in the corner. I was thinking about that quote from the movie Dirty Dancing, right? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Don't put yourself in the corner. Let yourself out of the corner and be you. Dance your own dance to your own rhythm and be free to be you, whatever that is. There's no right and wrong unless you're doing something that's really wrong and illegal. But I'm talking about personality-wise, you know, being yourself. And notice that there's always support. There's always somebody watching over you. Either here, you know, a lot of times in life, we don't even necessarily recognize the friends or the families or people around us that do care. You know, it's important to let them in. It's important to have support. One of the areas I look at with clients is, your spiritual aspect of your life. Do you feel supported on a really soul spiritual level? Or do you need help there to be yourself and to dive into that support on a deep level? But know that also you're being watched, whether you can see it or not. You're being supported by unseen forces, shall we say, whatever your belief system is around the support that you're getting from the unseen realm, angels, gods, guides, however you see it. So there is support for you. It's easier to, I'm picturing, for example, when, the other day I was watching this cool video of a guy who was going hang gliding with his dog, and he had this fluffy white dog. It was Malamute, or not a Malamute, something. It was some kind of fluffy white dog. But anyway, and it was like he was like supporting it between his legs, and it had the harness. And it was just funny watching him, hang glide with his dog. But I can see you flying free like that, like the butterfly that you are, when you know who you are and you know where you're headed, and know that there's support. It's scary taking that leap off of whatever cliff, like the hang glider, right, with his dog. But he had, that it's kind of cool, that he was able to take his fur baby with him. But you've got support either way, whether it's physical fur babies, whether it's unseen fur babies, and our animal angels are around. I was reminded of this the other day when I walked by this room and caught a glimpse of my cat, who's not here, who's was a gray, it was Clyde. He was a gray tuxedo. He was such an old soul, so he loved to lay there and cross his paws, and I know he hangs out. And again, if you need support in that area, I can help you with that as well. But connecting with our animal angels, they are there. They are supportive. There's no bad blood. They're not mad at us. If you're harboring any guilt or anything, it's time to let go of those emotions, those negative emotions, that guilt, that remorse, and know that you've got eyes watching you in a supportive and kind way. So when you take the leap, the support is there, watching over you in various ways. And then, I talk about freedom. And that's what this is representing to me. Letting go of the strings that are attached to being something that you're not. Are you, whatever strings that are keeping you stuck, it's time to cut the cord. It's time to let go and move on and run free and be yourself in all those colors that you are. Black, white, red, blue, yellow, whatever, and really be yourself and live life authentically. So, we go from this phase to this phase, and notice the color and, the energy and the exuberance. And if you're feeling under the weather, if you're dragging it all and you're not feeling all the colors and the energy, do you need more rest? Let's take a moment to talk about self-care, because that's all part of finding this balance and getting this clarity. And if we don't know our values and if we're not clear, it's time to go deep and into yourself and sleeping. Have you ever gone to bed at night and you're feeling foggy and you're not sure of something, and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden there's clarity that comes to you? Take a power nap. On my YouTube channel, I've got some guided meditations you can tap into if you have a hard time relaxing. So going into that meditative state or that sleep state can really help you to get the clarity that you may be lacking, so you can let go and fly and be free and be yourself with all the colors that truly represent you. So I hope these messages have given you clarity. We've gone from this to seeing through the storm and the fog and transforming, knowing that you're supported along the way, and living your best life. What does your best life mean to you? Thank goodness it's different for all of us. We're all different. We're all beautiful souls in different ways. So what is it that makes you special? Because you are special. So anyway, journal on these things. Think about what your, core values are. Take a nap, get some clarity. Know you're supported. Break out. Break out of that cocoon and really discover yourself and be who you are. Would love to hear your comments, any thoughts or questions below. I love to, respond to comments, so feel free to ask anything. And thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being here if you're watching. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment. Would love to hear from you. I hope you're getting some rest and some self-care. Hope it's been a relaxing weekend for you. Let's start the new year on an awesome foot. Get some clarity going, and I do plan on doing an event around that, so stay tuned. And I'll see you later. Bye for now, everyone.